Sunday, May 22nd, 2011, in Joplin, Missouri. People woke up that morning and went to church. Early that afternoon, high school graduates and their families celebrated their accomplishments at the Joplin High School graduation. Shortly after graduation ceremonies ended, a terrible EF5 tornado ripped through town. By 7 o'clock that evening, 166 people had died. The storm had put a path of 1 mile wide and 10 miles long through the south edge of town. This place, this time, was devastating. The reason I wanted to tell you about this tragic day in May of 2011 is because it reminded me of a song that I would like to share with you at the end of this message today. Shortly after the tragedy that struck Joplin and that tornado on May 22nd was annual conference. During that year, one afternoon, Melissa and I took a trip from Springfield to Joplin to take a look at the devastation, but also to help out at a church organizing materials that were going to be used for victims of the tornado. Later that year, in October of 2011, I took a small mission team to go and do recovery efforts there in Joplin. During that week, a friend of mine by the name of Katrina was going along with us. She was a senior in high school that year, and she came along with us on the trip. First time I met her, and she was a tremendous worked wonderfully, but also had a tremendous talent. During that week, she sang a song for us that I will never forget. The song was beautiful, but in the context of the devastation, it was really incredible. Katrina's going to sing that song for you here in just a moment. But before that, I want to read for you from Isaiah chapter 61. It says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort those who mourn, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord, for the display of his splendor. They will rebuild ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations." My friends, we live in a time when this word is important. We have been devastated because of a global pandemic, but also because of the loss of jobs, of relationships, and of freedom. But this passage and the song you're about to hear will remind us of the faithfulness of God, that he gives us beauty for ashes, that he takes what seems to be destroyed by the world and makes it beautiful again. It is my hope today that as you hear this song, that you will be reminded of the power of God in your life, and that no matter what ashes are around you, that God will begin to show you beauty from those ashes, because indeed, God makes beautiful things. I appreciate Katrina Hirschberger for sharing her talents with us. Some of you will recognize Katrina. She was one of our musicians a number of years ago at one of our revivals. Katrina, like I said, went on that mission trip with me in 2011. A couple years later, had opportunity to work with her in ministry to youth as well. She currently is the site director at Camp Galilee, and we wish her the very best and pray God's blessing upon her and her ministry, and thank her for blessing us in our ministry today. May you know the beauty and blessing of God today and always. Amen.
Hello, I'm Katrina, and I'm going to play you a song on this blue guitar. And the song is called Beautiful Things, and it's originally by Gungor, and it's a super, super cool song, and I hope that you like it and that it resonates all of God's handiwork with you. Let's do this.